Hey, everybody. It's your weird Uncle Brendan here. Thank you for coming to the Road Crew Rally. And to my left,
Oh,
it is
it's not here. Yeah, sorry. I'm here.
Mr. Derrick Record, who is we're very happy to have here as my co-host, the co-most for this our third or fourth, I forget, Road Crew Rally of the year. Thanks everybody for tuning in and for being a part of this. Huge big shout out. Everyone watching this, you get +1 luck to bring to your next game just for tuning in. And if they give you a hard time, have them email me. And if you're watching this on YouTube, of course, like, subscribe, hit that bell. We'll keep bringing you cool stuff. And you also get a point of luck. How you been, Derrick?
I've been well. Keeping busy, running lots of games and trying to get to some cons. So life is good.
Fantastic. What do you have coming up convention-wise?
What do we got on the docket? We're getting ready to load up for KimuraCon, which is like an anime thing here in Portland. I've actually never been, but they turned out for some DCC last year, so we're going to try to pump that up a little bit more this year.
Up. Yeah.
A bigger turnout. And we got a Game Hall Con.
Ooh, I'll see you there, cousin.
Yep, that's going to be a good one. That's that was the funnest con I went to last year, so looking forward to that.
Wasn't that great? Yeah. So what Derrick and I actually met at Game Hall Con, making this Game Hall our first ever homeoversary as my homeboy. And we played a couple of games, and then Derrick helped us break down. And then while we're talking, we went it was funny. We both had very late flights the next day, so we wound up at this crazy dive bar, like in the middle of like the university system. Remember that? And it turns out we were all our next convention was the same one too. We were both going to LongCon. So it was just it was destiny is what I say. Destiny.
It was a good time.
It was a good time. Thanks again for coming and hanging out and for helping break down and being awesome. It says, I love that Brendan is still rocking his lockdown hat. Absolutely, because my crazy hair with my headphones, it'll go woof, and I'll look insane if I don't wear it. Also, my wife made me this, and I'm very proud of it. It's quality stuff. Missed you at MomoCon. Yeah, I missed you at MomoCon too. I'm really sorry I couldn't make it. We're looking forward to next year though. If I have to, I'll be the chief Momo next year if anything else I can do. So it's fantastic to have everybody here. Real quick, let's talk about what's going on at Goodman Games right now. So Elena, let's put that first graphic up real quick. Just to let everybody know, I had to give a quick shout out to Caverns of Thracia, which is currently crowdfunding. Caverns of Thracia is an amazing setup, and it's going really, really well. It's unlocked tons and tons. Unlocked 15 stretch goals. I copied this down so I could read it out loud and sound official. A mega dungeon that supports a full year campaign, a legendary adventure considered by many to be one of the greatest of all time. Explore a 1,000-year-old dungeon mystery waiting to be solved. What do you think? It's very hip, and it's been really so many cool stretch goals have already been unlocked, and there's still more to come. We have meetings where we sit around and think about new stretch goals and like what's feasible and such. So I wanted to have myself and Michael Curtis actually hand deliver everyone for a stretch goal. I thought if we get to 1 million, he and I take off in a flatbed, right? And we just come to your town, hand them to you along with all of your goodies and maybe a balloon. We do face painting. I got Derrick. We bring Derrick. Derrick does face painting while it's going on.
Okay.
It's amazing.
Sign up.
Anyway, so I got shot down on that one, but who knows? Who knows what other kinds of cool stuff that we'll come up with. So, so thanks very much. So, a couple things. I got one more thing I want to talk about before we get into the actual road crew stuff, and that is the return of the Gongfarmers Almanac, which is so cool. So my other two homies, two of my many homies, Matt Robertson and Yamil Camacho, they've stepped up to take the reins of this prestigious DCC-based zine. This is a blurb, okay, that they actually sent. So I'm gonna read this blurb to you also in my announcer voice. With only 6 months left in 2024, we are asking everyone out there to submit your content for this year's GFA. New classes, adventures, home rules, magic items, monsters, races, patrons, DJs, luchador leg locks, and everything and all else can be in your bag of tricks. Dungeon Crawl Classics, Mutant Crawl Classics, X Crawl Classics, which is, I just love seeing it even on that line, makes me happy. Dying Earth or any other setting, we want it all. So submissions for written content will be open from July 1st up through August 1st. So you got a little bit of time left. If you have a crazy idea, something you've always wanted to see in print, a monster, a little, any of those things that I listed there, throw some X Crawl Classic stuff in there. Will make me happy. They want it all. And they're also looking for volunteers they need writers and artists, but they also need cartographers, volunteers to do editing, layout, and to help manage submission from start to finish. He says a book this good doesn't keep happening without the continued support from the best RPG community in the business, which I totally believe in. So log in now and fill out that form and send any questions and concerns to communitygfa@gmail.com. And I'm going to put that into the chat right now. Bam. There we go. Why didn't that work? Oh, it froze up for a minute there. Cool. Long Con Eddie says, but can I do a DJ submission? Yes, or you could save those for part 2 for the second issue of X-Crawl Insider. Spent a good bit of day today combing through X-Crawl Insider things and working on my own X-Crawl Insider stuff. So it's going to be exciting. Oh, all kinds of good stuff. Anyway, contribute. So, Derrick, do you collect or do anything with the Gongfarmers almanac? Have you used any of that stuff there?
It's one of those ones I haven't gotten the time to dig into yet. I'm aware of it and I've browsed it, but getting through all the material takes time.
I hear you. You can't keep up with everything. I totally get that. But you should check it out. Check out an issue. There's a ton of great stuff in there.
When was the last one printed? How long has it been?
It's been over a year now since the last one came out.
Okay.
It's been over a year. Yeah, the old, it's all volunteer basis and people's lives change and schedules change and things just go away. So, huge shout out to the whole crew, from Reverend Dak on up, for everybody who worked and contributed to all of those old Gongfarmers issues. You guys did an amazing job, and it was super cool having all y'all do everything. But and now the next generation steps up and will take the reins of this glorious publication.
I'm gonna get something in there. My brain's already churning. I got a monster that I'm cooking up. I gotta get something in there. I'm excited about this.
Heck yeah. Well, you got a couple of weeks, so get on it, doggone it. And the email is in the chat. And if anyone has any questions, let me know and I will send it to the right guy who needs to know. Sit and play games, my man. Says Derrick has for sure experienced some of the GFA content in my games, which is awesome. So he's a judge. And DCC Judge Crow says, hey, Derrick, had the honor of having you join my playtest a couple of years ago at Strategicon. Hope you and yours are happy, healthy, and safe. And he gives you the bravo hands, I think it's what it's called.
I remember this. My character died in a funnel, was reborn, which you're not supposed to happen in a funnel. When you die, you're supposed to be dead, but not in this case. It was a special instance, and it caused me to grow like 5 feet, and my movement speed got increased, and I came out with an outstanding character that I leveled up to a wizard. And I do remember this, and it was game X, not Strategicon. Same venue.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm super excited. That sounds like an amazing, that's the thing about DCC. Okay, yeah, if that happened in your 5e game, it'd be the most exciting thing that ever happened in I'm not hating on 5e, but that's a very oh yeah, DCC, your guy died, came back, grew 5 feet, became a wizard, moved on with his life, so I love that. I love all that.
Regular thing, just a regular thing.
I'll tell you what, though, I love our new 5e. I think that the Goodman Games 5e stuff, they're getting that influence because it's getting cooler and weirder and more fun with greater art. So I'm super excited about what we're doing with 5e. We have a special 5e guest tonight coming up. So get ready for that if you're, sitting there at home, Tim says, is there going to be a show where they specifically talk about the new GFA and suggestions for submissions this session? I don't think so. I think this is it pretty much. But sign up and send an email and ask, and I'm sure they'll send you all of the guidelines for everything they want to do, and get that out there in the world, which is awesome and really cool. Okay, so let's talk. So first of all, road crew. Hey, thank you all for being in the road crew. Thank you for representing. One of the highlights of the road crew year is coming up. DCC Day. It's we're on the cusp, which I'm super excited about. Saturday, July 20th. So not this Saturday, like I thought until yesterday, but the week after, which is going to be great. So you got DCC Day plans, Derek?
I do. I'm running all day at Dice Age.
Outstanding.
Doing the full gamut of the new Sailors of the Return of the Starless Sea. So
heck yeah.
The funnel into the level 1 adventure. Hope to get it all done in 2 sessions. But if not, we'll be back the following Sunday to wrap it up.
Come and play with Derek. Maybe put the info from that into the chat room and let people know where you're going to be.
Sure.
That's super cool. That's really fun, and I'm glad you're out there doing it. I am going to be at my local place, the Crazy Book Lady in Ackworth, Georgia. So and I am going to be running the one of this year's free DCC Day adventures, Tucson Deathstorm. So it's an X-Crawl adventure that it'll probably go in one session, but who knows. But I love the Crazy Book Lady. It's actually a used bookstore by me that has it's a great used bookstore, huge, great collection of all kinds of neat stuff. They also have a really good gaming selection and like the best selection of Dungeon Crawl Classic stuff and other Goodman game stuff in the whole region, as far as I've seen. They really do a good. Apparently there is an actual Crazy Book Lady. And this is the whole 9 yards with the store cat and everything. You know what I mean? It's just gorgeous, But they also have her husband is a big gamer and a big DCC fan and a big Goodman Games fan. So they actually have a pretty good array of our stuff there. So if you're in the Ackworth, near enough to Ackworth where you can cruise down, I recommend it. They got some cool stuff that you don't see very much of anymore. So I love that. And of course you come out and roll dice with me that day, and it's gonna be a hoot. Also, you can rent a U-Haul because the Crazy Book Lady also rents U-Haul trucks, which you could go there and I need this whole shelf. And how am I gonna get it home? I know. And then get you a 14-footer and cruise home and you're good. That's probably a lot. I'm not, but you could do it because that is how cool the Crazy Book Lady is. So, if you're interested in playing, you can go on the Goodman Games website and look up DCC Day on the Goodman Games website and check out our list of participating stores. And you can go out there and see it. That's if you want to go and be involved, go and check out the stuff, go and run some games. Obviously, all those things are super cool. And if your local store isn't interested, let them know that we're doing it. Let them know it's a promotion, and who knows? Maybe they'll sign up for next year. And you can always give them my email, and if they have any questions, and I will send them to someone who will have the correct answers. As part of my job here, get you to the smart kids who actually know the stuff that the retailers need to know. You know what I'm saying? You don't want me in charge of that kind of nonsense. Anything with actual dice in my hands. That's what they let me do. Like my purview at Goodman Games is, well, can you the kind of thing you really want to have dice for? Brendan can do that. If it's like clipboard work, spreadsheet work, there's better choices. So I try real hard. All right, so if you're watching, why don't you shout out your DCC plans in the comments if you've got something going on, and we'll throw a few of them out there put it out there in the world. Cool. Kevin Lupus says RLGS is number 2 on the list. Wahoo, the big wahoo. Cool. Oh, and look, we got the Gong Farmer chapter starting to show up. I love that. Who just popped up? Local 4615. Big shout out to 4615. Thank you for being here today. That's great. The Gong Farmers are showing up in force. I love seeing that. I absolutely love seeing that. Doc Webb's running games and stuff in Glenbury, MD. That's fantastic. D-Man 73 is running at Games King in Sioux City at 11 a.m. He's running Gods of the Earth. Kablooey 221. What's going on? Love seeing you. Oh, Local 779 is here. 51 is here. All the chapters are showing up. This could be the whole show. I could just be shouting out to all the Gong Farmers things. I don't want to get into the whole Gong Farmer thing yet. We're going to come up with that, but I'll absolutely do that. Ooh, people are putting lists or links in there too. So, so awesome. Cool. Local 937. What's up? So, what do we have to do next? Okay, so I think I've heard enough of my self-talk for a minute. I'm ready to take a break. So why don't we bring on some special guests? So I want to talk about the Goodman game organized play, which is a brand new thing we're doing this year for the first time. We're doing a DCC organized play, and we're doing a 5e organized play. And I got to admit, when they first told me that, I'm like, we're going to do what? But now that I've done some, I've had a great time running games, getting together with other GMs, creating stuff for it. The 5e guys, it's from all the stories I've heard from the 5e side, they are loving it over there. So we couldn't be more proud. So hey Lena, can we bring up our next two guests on the hit parade? That is Sun Stanek and Craig Langrell. Come on down.
Hey.
Welcome.
Hey, thank you.
All. Absolutely. How's it going? How you doing, Craig?
Doing well, thank you.
Wonderful. How you doing, Sun?
I'm doing good, thanks.
Here's some Sun trivia. I've been playing with Sun for more than a decade, and Sun, she's recently given me a bit of a break, which I appreciate, but she knows that I have a hard time pronouncing some words and will come up with the craziest character names possible. And so I just that's the real reason that I still wear my COVID cap, is because Sun's giving me so much gray hair from trying to pronounce her guys. I'm getting the stammers there. So, but Sun was there with the Origins this year in Columbus, Ohio, and was part of the DCC crew running organized play. How did it go for you, Sun?
It was so much fun. I think there was 9 of us all together running, and we'd have 3 or 4 tables going at a time, and we were doing sessions after sessions after sessions, and I think everybody had a blast. So
I love hearing that. Yeah, I had fun too. I'll tell you what, I will say overwhelmingly what I've heard, the feedback I've heard from that has been very, very positive. You know what I'm saying? Same thing for the 5e play. So Craig is actually gearing up. Tell us what you're gearing up for as far as 5e Goodman Games organized play.
I'm going to be running 4 tables, I think, over the course of Gen Con.
Nice.
If you're there in the morning, if you're a weirdo morning person like I am, you might be at one of my tables. And then I'm running, I think, Friday afternoon as well. But we're going to be running the new Goodman Games 5e organized play for Castle White Rock, which is coming. Which I'm pretty excited about.
That's very exciting.
Mega dungeon. From what I understand, it had the dubious honor of being premiered for 3.5 right as 4E was being announced. I think at the same Gen Con that the original Castle White Rock came out.
Yeah.
Now it's coming back for a game with a much bigger player base.
No, that is fantastic. I'll tell you, I had a copy, and a buddy of mine was like, "Oh, I've been looking for a copy of Castle White Rock forever." I'm like, "Oh yeah, you can have mine." And now I'm like, "Oh no!" You know what I mean? What are you gonna do? You know what I mean? So. But that's cool. So so you're running a section of the adventure there?
Yes, there are. I don't want to get into trouble and give up too many details, but to keep it more general, there are currently 4 modules ready to go, and the organized play concept is that if you generally modules 1 and 2 are aimed at level 1 characters. 3 and 4, I believe, are second level characters. The concept is for every 2 modules you play, you level up, and it
Yeah,
has
milestone.
really clever organized play concepts that Chris Doyle is putting into place for
Yeah.
it. Where you get the fun of you actually get certificates. I've got my laminator going, getting magic item certificates ready for people so they get out. So if you get a healing potion or a spell or a scroll or something like that, you'll walk away from the table with your little laminated card. And
That's super cool. Super cool.
yeah. It's going to be pretty neat. You can play them in any order. It's also set up so that you can, if you want to get the introduction things at in Silmar, the town of Silmar, which is full of great characters. Some wacky stuff will happen there, and then you get on the road and head out. Or if you want to jump right into the mega dungeon, you can hop into the later modules and
I love
just
that.
roll up to the gates of White Rock and get dungeoneering.
That's awesome. So, Son, what did you run specifically? Which segment of the adventure did you run at Origins?
So I ran Race Against Slime, which like we're doing the DCC organized play is doing 3 modules, like a trilogy in succession. And so Origins had a few sessions of 1 and a lot of sessions of 2. And I was running session 2, but it was super fun. I was a little skeptical when I heard DCC organized play, and nothing against other organized plays, because like my oldest loves Pathfinder Society. That is what they do all the time at Origins. Just and
That's cool.
that's their thing, right? That's their thing. But I was also like, how like DCC is so variable and so and that's one of the things I love so much about it. How is that going to work in an organized play setting? But it worked super well. I was really pleased. Like I had pre-gens that I had rolled up ahead of time, and I wrote them out by hand on paper, and I put in mercurial magic, and we did all of those things. We rolled on the fumble charts. We rolled on the crit tables. I had one group, it was my Sunday group, and they got to one of the rooms, and I don't want to give any details away in case other people are doing it, but they got to one of the rooms, and it was a hard combat in a small space with a lot of mobs, and the dwarf and the warrior just rolled nat 1 after nat 1 after nat 1. And when they rolled on the fumble chart, they were rolling so high on the fumble chart. The thief missed his backstab. The cleric and the wizard could not get a spell off. I was like, we're going to TPK in like this room, and we were like 40 minutes into this 3-hour event, and I was like, oh man. And one of the other characters at the table just started singing the Benny Hill theme, and then it was fine. Then everybody was having a great time with it, and it was fine. Like my dice were hot. I got to roll on very special crit tables during that same combat. Like, right? I'm not saying, but yeah, it was good. So like, I was really pleased to see that it was still very much DCC through the organized play. I was also a little worried about like, I tend to ramble and squirrel. I will go off on any rabbit trail that is presented to me, and I'm like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to be great at running a timed event, because the way organized play is like, here's the objective for this 3-hour module. We'll have, I don't know, 16 sessions running at this con. If 8 of them meet the objective, then everybody meets like not everybody, but you know what I mean? When we do part 3, everybody starts off with the reward that all the other players earned for you in part 3. So I'm like, okay, I've got to actually stick to the timetable. I can't rabbit trail. And I was like, what am I going to do if I've got new players? Like that is going to be tricky. But my very first game, I was really nervous. My very first game, sat down, family of 3 sat down. They had played DCC once last year at Origins, and they loved it. So they signed up for something again at Origins, but they did great. I see, you know, like one of them played the wizard and he was super sharp and he read his spell descriptions and he came up with and again, not going to give anything away, but what I thought was going to be an absolute death trap and we were going to lose players, used this really obscure spell that I was like, oh, I'm so sorry, I randomly rolled that one for you. And it was amazing. It was a great use. And
Fantastic.
right. Then I have one more story and then I'll be quiet and
No,
somebody else can talk.
We brought you here for stories. Good.
All right, well, I'm good at stories. Then my other thing that I was really worried about is like, again, if I'm on this time crunch, are we going to have time to like really role play? Because with the exception of Uncle Brendan rolling a 1 when we were playing 10th level wizards trying to take down a patron and he rolled a 1 on the saving throw, like I don't really always remember like the dice rolls and the combat. Like those aren't the fun things. I remember somebody sitting down at the table and going, I'm going to be a cleric of meh. Like I remember, you know, the weird little things that happen and the fun. And I'm like, are we going to be able to do that? But we did that too. Like the same group that was constant ones, fumble, fumble, fumble. When they got to another part, again, no spoilers, there a certain thing happens at like at a certain time and they had half the party safe when this other thing happened and the dwarf is like, I'm gonna make a last stand right here. I'm gonna block the door. I've got my shield. I've got my, and he was kind of newish to DCC too. And I'm like, okay, you know what? Roll your mighty deed. If your mighty deed comes off, you know, you do that. And his mighty deed comes off. He boom. I'm like, I'm going to destroy you. Are you aware of that? Like the destruction is coming right now for your character. This is the end for you. There's no, and he's like, yeah, I'm good. And he gives this speech and he's like, go, go, go. So the rest of the party goes and the thief spikes the door. So like the dwarf is definitely trapped on the other side. And I was like, okay, that was awesome.
That's wrenching. That's so good.
Right. So it was also super cool. But you know, so I was really pleased that it was still very much the DCC flavor. Everybody had a good time. And like we got some feedback from other judges that were running that I got to peek at. And it seems like my experience was not a fluke. This was the experience for all the other judges too. They had a great time. They had some great stories. They had some new players. They had some old players. And it was just a lot of fun.
That's fantastic. Yeah, I had a great time too. I only wound up running 2 sessions of the same one, Race Against Slime. But I really enjoyed it, and I had a really good time with it. You know, so Craig, how is do you think that, or you're hearing like 5e players are coming in? Like, does this vary very much from the normal, the WotC version of what is it? It's not Adventure League.
It's Adventurers League.
It is Adventure League.
Yeah, it does. I actually, most of my stuff these days is at a local store. I run after school clubs and a summer camp now. You and I were chatting a little bit about that.
I know. No, tell what kind of summer camp you run.
Oh, it's a tabletop role playing game summer camp. Right now, this week and next is what I call the Game Master Academy. And kids are coming in and learning about different games. And the fun thing is a lot of them are new to games, so they don't have any preconceived bias in games that they run. And this week alone, I've got kids. One kid is running some stuff in BX D&D, the old basic expert. Have 2 kids running 2 different things in DCC. One of them is brand new to it and running Portal Under the Stars. You know, a classic nice. Taking everybody through. My own kid, I'm happy to say, is decided to see if they could try to set up a funnel with higher level characters. We are really bringing that kind of Grimtooth aesthetic to running their friends.
I love it. I love it.
Meat grinder, and I said, I'm so proud of you. But I had originally started trying to bring people in and doing Adventurers League, and kind of moved away from it because there are so many restrictions placed on it that made things just less fun. And it just is, you know what,
Sure.
we're going to do whatever we want at our table and move away. As opposed to the Goodman organized play in 5e, which is really focused on what it should be, which is making sure that everybody has a good time. There, not only is the adventure great, and personally, I love mega dungeons, so Castle White Rock, I'm really excited about it.
No, I'm stoked
But
too.
also, it's so smart. It's got some new playable races that you can bring in, some new sub races, and there's also, I am I allowed to say the new race that's being introduced with it? I think
What's the worst Chris can do?
He did recently move closer to me, so but
He could show up at your house.
yeah, I'm a little worried, but no. So there's a half ogre race, which I think is
Ooh.
really fun. So if you want to play like a big brutish dumb guy, you're gonna be set. So watch out doors in Castle White Rock, you're gonna get kicked down. But in addition, they're doing really fun stuff with inspiration points. There's a mechanic, not just the standard 5e inspiration thing where everybody can be either inspired or not. There are heroic inspiration points, which work a lot more like luck, or actually a lot more like fleeting luck from Lankmar.
Sure.
From the DCC Lankmar.
Yeah.
So there's not a cap on them. You can accumulate them, and you can use them to re-roll anything. D20,
Okay.
also your damage dice. You can re-roll death saves. You can re-roll, or you can cancel out crits and stuff like that.
You can cancel a crit. That's really clever.
Yeah, and it's just, it's more fun than either you have a thing or you don't, because I feel like in that conventional mechanic, especially in the Adventurers League, it's like you're rewarded for role playing, and then if you get the inspiration, it's kind of like, oh, I'm just going to sit back until I have an opportunity to use this. As opposed to with the heroic inspiration, everybody's out there, and I think they can just go full cylinders all the time because they know that if they do something cool, it doesn't matter if they already have one, they're going to get rewarded for it in the moment.
That is awesome. And I'm still mad that D&D summer camp wasn't a thing when I was a kid. Hey, Derrick, did you go to Dungeons and Dragons summer camp when you were a young child?
Deprived.
I know, right?
Deprived.
I brag on being a child of the 70s all the time, but boy, did we slip out on that one. You were more likely to tell your parents that you played Dungeons and Dragons and get sent to Bible camp to kind of like,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
The closest we came when I was a kid, in the early 80s, but still in that same kind of thing, was my parents always said, we don't care what you guys are doing in the basement because it keeps you off the streets. But I definitely had friends who had to like hide all their books in our house. So that was the closest we got to a summer camp. But
yeah,
when my kid and their friends were saying, hey, is this something we could do? I said, heck yeah. Because again, I wish it had been there when I was a kid.
Yeah. So, son, when did you get started gaming? Because I've never actually heard the story from you. I'm sure it wasn't gaming summer camp because we didn't.
It was not gaming summer camp. Actually, I got interested in it through a book series because I was a book nerd. Sure. And I'm trying to remember. So as soon as we end this call, it's going to come back to me, and I'm going to remember it. But in the books, they kind of get sucked into the fantasy world that their characters inhabit, and right, and it was really interesting. And I didn't know anybody that gamed though. I was a nerd, but I wasn't that kind of a nerd, I guess. I was not in the right nerd crowd until I got to college. And then
was it Guardians of the Flame?
Yes, it was Guardians of the Flame. There
Thank you, chat room. Thank you, Mark and Women Studios.
Oh, there it is. I see it. Yeah, actually. Yeah, it was. And I really liked it. And yeah, so then Ed was in a game group, and we were both in the same group of friends. So that was a while ago. That was that was a while ago, but it was fun and I enjoyed it. And I was a horrible person to game with. I did not understand.
You're so fun.
I was a chaos elemental. I had entire groups of people who were like, we're never playing with her again, because no, I didn't understand that people were taking it not seriously, but that it mattered to other people. So I would just do I resurrected a red dragon on the first plane of hell because I had this artifact that would, it had like a 1 in 100 chance of attracting the attention of the nearest deity or extraplanar creature. And I got that one chance, and I'm like, so I got Tiamat's attention. I'm like, what do you wish for? And I'm like, I want this dragon alive. And like the party was going to rage quit. And I was like, oh, this is hysterical. So I didn't get it at first. So, but it's right. So it wasn't until a con that I went to that I was playing an elf. And this was back when elves got 2 arrow shots around. And we were
Yes.
first level, and it was like a pre-gen character that somebody handed me. I'm like, okay. And we went into this place, and we're first level, and I hit with both my arrows, and like I killed something. And somebody else at the table, it was a total stranger, is like, oh, I love those elves with those bows. I'm like, oh my gosh, I could be a hero. And like the click
Yeah.
changed. So yeah.
That is a beautiful thing. So, all right,
Yeah.
now we're telling origin story. So, Derrick, we got to hear your game and origin story, man.
I was one of those actual deprived kids from the 80s where I was forbidden profusely to play D&D, satanic panic, and my mom drank it all in, all the Kool-Aid, and it was just simply not allowed. Now, I didn't always listen to my mom growing up, but for some reason, that was one of the times that I did. So I didn't play any D&D as a kid, but I did play all the other TSR products and things I could get my hands on, BattleTech and Marvel Superheroes RPG and all these things, but never was there a substitute, for the fantasy RPG that I could think of at that time that I had access to. So, and then by the time I was old enough to actually get my hands on some books and stop listening to what my mom was telling me to do, we were in high school, and we were, doing other things that you do when you're in high school besides nobody wanted to play RPG anymore that I could find. So I go into my adulthood, not thinking anything about RPG, not playing a lot of games of that tabletop sort, and lovely 2020 hit us, and we all found ourselves at home. And I had that free RPG quick start from Goodman Games had been sitting on the table because the artwork was so cool. It'd been sitting there for like 5 years. And I finally picked that thing up and just was instantly hooked, running Portal of the
Beautiful, beautiful.
Portal of the Stars for myself, by myself, at my kitchen, just wanting to RPG that bad. And grabbed everybody I could find in my community and just said, we're doing this. And the rest is history. So
And here we are.
hard for about the last 4 years now.
Yeah. Well, Derrick and I have played a couple times. Son and I have played so many times that you're basically in my home group. You know what I mean? Like you're just the one that only shows up twice a year, but that counts. You know what I'm saying? So, which is awesome. And Craig, you and I have yet to have the pleasure, but I look forward to either playing 5e at your table or you come and play in DCC with me. Either way, that sounds awesome and fun. So, me too. And I'll tell you what, the whole organized play program on both sides, I think we've really innovated it on both sides. I think we've really learned a lot of lessons from Adventurers League and from Pathfinder Society and really made it our own and really focused on the fun on both sides of it, which is really, that's what it should be about. And I think I'm really proud of what Goodman Games has done with organized play. And this is a first year. Have we made some mistakes? Oh, sure. But they were good, kind of fun, fail forward kind of mistakey thingies mostly. And I couldn't be happier with the way it's progressed to this point. So let me just say huge thanks to everybody who has signed up on 5e side, signed up on DCC side, come out, run games, come out and played games, been a part of it, and made it all happen because I'm really happy with the program. And I think it's there's no wrong fun, and this is less wrong fun than most fun, which that made very little sense, but it was true. It was super fun. Anyway, I think we're gonna go ahead and turn y'all loose. But thank you so much for Craig and Son for showing up and hanging out with us tonight.
Thank you.
And talking organized play with us. And you're always welcome. And Craig, why don't we do this? Let's set a date next year. Once you've done some games, we'll have you come in. I want to hear your stories.
Oh, that'd be great.
Cool. And son, you're always welcome back. You know this.
Oh, thank you.
Absolutely. We'll see everybody soon. See you
All right.
next time. We're out. We'll be right back. And we're back. And once again, thanks to Craig and Son for coming and hanging out with us and talking about organized play. It really was a lot of fun. And, like I love when I take my break or whatever and I just walk past and here are tables of people who are all playing DCC. And in this case, they're all playing the same adventure and kind of like, I kind of walk by and I'm listening and seeing where everybody is at in the thing and how they're responding to stuff. It was super fun, I got to admit, before Goodman Games organized play, every organized play experience I had was very negative. I really didn't enjoy it, and I didn't get it, and but I think we're doing it differently, and I think those the little changes that we're making to it are making an enormous difference to how the actual play at the table goes. So come on out, come on out and play or run. So you're gonna play any at Game Hole?
Well, that's what I was going to ask. Is this happening at Game Hall?
It's
I don't know
happening.
what's going on.
It's happening. So let me tell you, on the DCC, 5e side, we start with them. 5e side, they're doing just like Craig was saying. You can get into multiple sessions of multiple things that are going to be there. I think is it going to be at Game Hall. I think actually all their stuff's going to be at Gen Con. So if you're coming to Gen Con, you probably already signed up for that. But then at Game Hole Con, we're going to be running all 3 sessions of the 3-part story arc that is this year's Dungeon Crawl Classics adventure, which is Michael Curtis wrote the initial one. It is the Return of the Slime God, and it is where all of the sentience of the world must get together and repel the awful slime god who wants to turn absolutely everything back into a primordial state of goo. And so you got to band together and fight that off. So you will be able to play all three tiers. So part 1, part 2, and part 3 of the adventure will all be featured at Game Hole this year. So if you're coming to Game Hole, sign up and play. It's been a riot so far. We've had really good judges. I got it's been very cool. I got it's an absolute murderer's row of GMs. I got Chris Zank is playing, what I'm saying, is running games for me and such. It's
So how did we select judges? Was that something I could have signed up for, or did you guys handpick?
No, we put the word out, and we'll be doing it again last year. We put the word out and let people come. So if you want to play something, let's talk afterwards. And even if we can't do it this year, we'll do it next year because we're going to be doing this continuing throughout. So we're already in discussions for what next year's DCC adventure is going to be. It is very exciting, y'all. Very exciting. Yeah. So yeah, come and sign up to play, sign up to run. It really is. It's DCC organized play is a blast, and 5e organized play sounds like it is superior. Like they really took all of the lessons of all the previous organized play and really elevated it. So I couldn't be more excited about it.
Neat.
So, Ken Lupus says, follow the Pathfinder Society Adventure Path rather than D&D Adventurer League. I think they've all got their there are things that people are into. Yes, Doc Webb. Nothing better than finding a hobby to love, to share it with people that you love with. I fully agree. Met my wife gaming. Super proud. You know. Yeah. Oh, and Ching says Chris Zank is awesome. He's running our DCC Day event. Yeah, I wish I could remember all of the judges off the top of my head. You know, I should have. If I was a better Road Crew Rally host, I would have had like a crib note of all the judges. Would have mentioned them all, but I didn't do that, and I'm sorry about that. So, Derek, that's on me, Derek. It's on me. It's on me. I'll try to remember next time. This is what I'm talking about: doing DCC or doing organized play stuff for the first time. So let's talk about the next thing I want to get to on my agenda. I couldn't be more excited. The Gongfarmers Local program. Shane Mad Jet, the DJ Kablooey was the originator of this of the entire Gongfarmers thing. So have you put together a Gongfarmer group yet, Derek?
Yeah, we're the local 503360, which is
50336.
we're combining superpowers from Portland and Vancouver, Washington, not Vancouver, BC, Vancouver, Washington, but most people, will identify me as coming from Portland, but we combine superpowers with, Chase on the other side of the river and me and Spencer up here. So that's
Hell
what we
yeah.
got. It's the Portland, Vancouver chapter, 503360.
That's fantastic. Well, put them up in the chat rooms. We are so excited. Local 503360. The response of everybody being able to sort of like claim their and proudly give a name to their home group. It's kind of the thing. So I think about my favorite RPG comic, which is Knights of the Dinner Table. And they're the Knights of the Dinner Table. And every group has a different name. And they're Patty's Perks and such. And, we've done it unofficially before, but I love the idea that you put an official name on it. You know what I mean? You've got like somebody in charge, and then you can go and throw it up there proud. You know what I'm saying? I'm a member of this one, and, visit other groups. I'm looking forward to days when, crews get together or they have a mixed combined days of bringing this Gongfarmer group together with the other Gongfarmer group. Local 4615 representing, local 951 reporting for duty. Got two games going at the Hungry Dragon in Murrieta, California, during the day, and then DCC after dark. Yeah.
Nice.
Local 2-2. That's the 2-2. I love that. That's Joan of Arc's crew. The fabulous 2-2s. Awesome. Local 551, Porto Alegre, Brazil, twice a month games. That's awesome. 5:30 in the house. You know what? You got to stop me, Elena. If you're ready, let's we're gonna go ahead and just show. So here's what happens when you sign up for the Gongfarmer thing. You fill out the questionnaire, and then we're gonna send you an official certificate. The response has been overwhelming. So there's a lot of people out there still waiting on certificates. I promise you, we're getting those out there. But let's show those certificates now, and we'll share them and let you know. One thing though, I feel like we should show a little bit of we should do something like reverence, maybe some song, maybe some music in the background. Derek, would you be comfortable like calling out the names as they appear on the screen while I hum Pomp and Circumstance?
I think I can do this.
My man. All right. Elena, let's do it.
Where are these things? All right. Official chapter number 5, Gongfarmers. I'm going to say this one.
Dios de Boavista. God Dios. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. I'm trying. De Boavista. Welcome. I'm just going to cheer. I think humming was going to make me crazy. Keep it going. Welcome. Ooh.
We got the Reaver Frontiersman.
Woo! Reaver
Frontiersman number 7.
We love him. Number 7, Lucky 7. We love him.
We got the Gongfarmers
the
Local
original,
221.
The very first chapter, 221, the Mad Jet chapter. Welcome. We love that. Woo! Just gonna keep cheering. I'm so excited. Number 7 in the house. Delaware Crawl Classics. I love that. Oh, that's awesome. Chapter 302. Derek, we love the 302. All right, you do this one. I've been calling them out. Go for it.
Gongfarmers Local 316, Wichita, Kansas. Woo!
We love them. The local 317 Indie Catacomb Crawlers. Number 317. Love to have y'all. Thank you. Thank you. Keep crawling those catacombs. Ooh, I'm looking at the chat. Delmarva DCC representing. That's what I'm talking about. Doc Webb. Hey there, ticking time, Bob. Ooh, you good. This is one to you. Pronounce that.
Yeah, is this the YPSI Arbor Archivos?
Oh, it must be Yipsy, like Ypsilanti. It's Yipsy
okay.
Arbor.
That's what I thought maybe. So here we are, the number 420.
That's James Posnell. Just say no, kids. Ooh, do this one.
Yummy Gongfarmers Local 513.
Woo!
What's
That's
this
Semper
S?
Alles.
Yeah.
You know, when I got that, I looked it up on. I did a Google Translate, so I make sure it wasn't something really rude, and I was impressed. But I can't remember what it is now. But thank you. Oh, the Chicago Demon Spawn, number 5. Is that number 6? 506.
606.
606. 606. 606. It's very small on my second monitor there. Chicago Demon Spawn.
Antelope Valley Gongfarmers Union.
Woo!
Interesting.
Absolutely.
Antelope Valley. Gotcha.
Yeah, I don't know where that is, but that's cool. Keeping the faith in Antelope Valley, you know. Gongfarmers Local 951. Congrats. Thank you for showing up. We love you, 951. Whoop, whoop. I kept in the chat. Welcome, representing 951. Love having y'all.
Texas Crawlers Union.
Woo!
Got some badasses over here.
Hell yeah.
Number 2,800. It's a big
28. Yeah, it is. That's fantastic. This is the Adventure Workers. I love that. That's a good one. The Adventure Workers. That's number 4615, representing. Thank you for showing up. Gloria Aram. I think that's Glory and Gold. That's it. Cool. No problem. Well, thank you so much for sharing those, Elena, and thank you all so much for showing up and being a part of the Gong Farmer program. So, you know what? If you got a group, I don't care if you are all in the same block, in the same town. If you have a diaspora where you're playing with 5 guys, dude in Kakistan, dude in California, dude in Illinois, whatever it is, organize. Go to the Goodman Games website, go to the Road Crew landing page for 2024, and sign up and throw your number up there, pick some art, and we'd love to have you. Go out there and do it. It's just for fun and for representing, and then just the idea that it's that group cohesion. You know what I'm saying? Here we all are. You know what I'm saying, Derek?
I hear you slowing down. The community is really what it's all about. We got the more games at the local stores and stuff like that. I find myself playing online a lot less and just really enjoying the community that we built here. And I think some folks suffer from a lack of sense of community, and so being able to fill that hole or reinforce it where others already have a good sense of community, either case, but that's really what it's about.
You know what? I think that's beautifully put. You know what I'm saying? There's no substitute for being a part of a community. And if you're in one and you're proud of your little group, throw it out there. And then your community becomes a part of the larger community. And we're all community. We're all in this together. We're all Road Crew. We're all Goodman Games fans. And we're all gamers. We're all tabletop people. And I love our hobby. I love our hobby to distraction. I think it has the power to make so many positive changes in the world, in individual people's lives, and certainly in your Thursday night, if you're when you're getting around there and hanging out with your friends and rolling the dice. So, Upkept says the Hungry Dragon put our certificate on the wall. We didn't even ask. I love them. Take a picture of that. Send me that. I'll put it up someplace. But yeah, I love I love the Goodman Games community. I truly believe this is the best RPG fan community that's out there. And I got so much love for it. So I love people going out there, showing their pride, putting it up there. And I said, all the, making our little groups, coming together as big groups in the within the wider community. It does my heart good, does my heart good to have people out there showing how much they love gaming, how much they love the hobby, and how much they love the community. That's just, absolutely beautiful to me. Oh, apparently he can pronounce that Ike Pittsburgh, which is great. So I love that. Cool. All right. Well, I'll tell you. If there's any questions, this is the time to throw them up in the chat room because we are about to skedaddle and head off into the sunset. But Derrick, thank you so much for coming and hanging out with me tonight. It was super fun seeing you.
Thanks for having me. Pleasure as always.
You're always welcome, and always fun having you as being a part of the community. Can't wait to see you at Game Hall again. Join up, roll some dice with the organized play. Roll some with me. Ooh. Canalupa says need some pre-gens for X-Crawl Tucson. I have not gotten my new X-Crawl book yet. Check. You should have the PDF now, but send me an email. I'll send you what I got. I don't mind. Question: when will official documentation on organized play be shared? At the end of the 3 adventure arc, we're going to go ahead and do a post of that up on the website. So watch that soon. That'll be after Game Hall Con when the whole story is told. And I don't know about 5e side, but I'll ask Chris. But whenever Chris says so. I guess their last big event's going to be Gen Con of the year, so probably after Gen Con. So watch for it by name. But you can go online, the documentation on how there's the Gongfarmers Discord now in the chat room. Missed it, but are the organized play adventures going to be playable outside of the cons at that point? Yes, they're not yet, but they will eventually be available for everyone to go out there and run. So I don't have a specific date or news on that yet, but when I have that, I will share that. All right, y'all. It's time, I believe. Derrick, thank you so much for coming and hanging out with me. Helena, thank you once again for keeping us on the air and honest as always. And thank you all y'all for showing up and hanging out with me tonight and hanging out in the chat room. And once again, if you're watching this on YouTube, it could happen. Don't forget to like and subscribe, hit that bell, and we'll send you all kinds of great, cool stuff as it comes. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for being a part of my community. Gong Farmers, unite! Thank you. Elena, take us home. See you next time.